Hi, I'm Jessie Budzinski. I'm an assistant department chair at Purdue Global, and I'm here today with Jacob Schatzberg, who is a graduate from our Human Services department. And so, Jacob, if you wouldn't mind just sharing the degree that you earned and when you graduated.
I got my associates in applied science and human services. I graduated May 3rd of this year,
Oh,
I
so
believe.
recently.
Yep. So it's
Awesome.
pretty recent.
And were you working in the field prior to graduation?
Actually, I was doing a federal work study program
Okay,
through Purdue Global.
awesome.
I was working for Crisis Text Line.
Okay,
So I was definitely getting some kind of background in the field, but other than
absolutely.
that, I really hadn't had much experience in the field.
Okay.
A lot of my previous jobs were all physical labor jobs.
Mm,
So this is definitely a different world for me right at the moment.
yeah, a huge shift. So, what led you to human services?
Um, I am, see, I've been sober now for 4 years.
That's awesome.
Um, and at the start of my journey, I kind of had, I don't know if I want to say an epiphany, but it kind of hit me that how I needed to work on things.
Hmm.
And that kind of led me to wanting to help others.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to help others, in recovery, whether it's from mental health or from addiction.
Yep.
I feel like kind of my background and my story can possibly help others, and that's kind
Absolutely.
of what spurred on my wanting to help others.
That's amazing. I feel like there's so many students that find this field due to personal experience, and it's just such a great way to pay it forward. And in doing this, it's also such a great way to share with other students who are currently in our program kind of what you came through and where you're heading in the future too, which I think is so important to share with current students. So what does that look like for you right now? Like, what are you currently doing?
Right now, I'm a month into my new position at
Okay,
Plains Area Mental Health Center
awesome.
here in Northwest Iowa. I'm a peer support specialist.
Okay.
So a lot of it is I get to use my background to be able to help others as a peer.
Hmm.
Being someone that's kind of been in their shoes before.
Absolutely.
Um, and I think that peer part is what really helps get across to some of those people, like, hey, there is a different way, there is a way out of where you're at right now.
Absolutely.
I'm living proof. um, I always say if I can do it, it's
Hmm.
it's definitely doable, because I was a lost cause there for quite a while. So
And how long did you say you've been in this position?
a little over right around a month.
Okay. Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely. I had actually applied for the recovery coach position back in
Hmm.
March, um, and I didn't get it just to due to logistics.
Hmm.
Um, they wanted someone that was in their Lamar's office, and
Okay.
I live in Storm Lake. Um, but the position opened up for their ACT team, which is the Assertive Community Treatment Team.
Yeah.
Um, and they remembered my interview for the
Uh,
recovery coach position and came back and asked me to reapply.
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's so exciting. So what kind of do you have plans for the next 5 years, like goals moving forward, things that you'd like to accomplish?
Um, I'd like to be a little more stable in my job.
Hmm.
Right now it's a lot of learning,
Sure.
especially coming from a background where most of my jobs were physical labor jobs and
Yep.
not so mental. Um, so it's a lot of learning. I'd like to, I don't know how to say it, feel just more at home in my
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
Maybe add a recovery coach certification in there. I did need to put a pause on school for a little bit
Okay.
just so I can kind of learn the position,
Sure.
focus on it a little more.
Yep.
My plan is hopefully within the next 5 years, I'd like to be going back for my bachelor's in psychology in addictions.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you feel like the associate's degree that you received prepared you well for this position that
Oh,
you're
for
in right now?
sure. Yeah,
That's great.
it most definitely did. A lot of the interactions, like the motivational interviewing, stuff like that, I learned through the classes and stuff like that. And that's stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis now.
That's fantastic.
Um, so it definitely pushed me in the direction to be ready for this job.
Good, good. That's great. What helped you to persist while you were working on the degree? Because I feel like that's something that a lot of times students struggle with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there were definitely some times where it sort of felt like I was at my wit's end,
yeah.
and I wanted to say I was done, but I am once I get started doing something, if I don't finish it, it really bugs me.
Mm,
Um, and at the time, I was a stay-at-home dad for my three young boys,
mm.
um, which kind of gave me quite a bit of open time, but still trying to keep the home life and the
But not
between
really.
that, the federal work study
Yeah.
schedule,
Yep.
and then school on top of it, it was definitely busy. But I think a lot of it was just my urge to want to help people, and I
Hmm.
knew that I needed a degree to be able to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I think even in those low points, that's kind of what pushed me to want to keep going.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think so many of our adult learners are also, I mean, they're juggling jobs and also families and young families. And that's no easy feat. I mean, having three young kids at home is a full-time job in and of itself. So,
Hmm.
that's incredible that you were able to juggle all of that.
Yeah, it wasn't easy at times,
Hmm.
but you know what? I'd like to look back on it as it was worth it, because not only did I learn from school, but I also learned skills of patience from
Yeah.
from my
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
And those are things that help me now in the field too. When in frustrating moments, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
take a pause. This will work out. We just need to figure out how.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such great advice. Which is actually my next question is if you had advice to share with students other than what you've already shared, what would it be?
Just keep going.
Mm,
Today might be hard, tomorrow might be easier. Um, I feel like if you're going to school right now, you're doing it for a reason.
right.
Um, and that reason is good enough to keep going.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes people lose sight of that a little bit
Hmm.
and need to refocus a little bit, but just keep chiseling away at it day by day, and before you know it, you'll be at graduation.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great advice.